Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another crypto video. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto content. Today we are going to be discussing Constellation, or DAG. Now, I do know that there's a lot of people who have been kind of waiting for me to go in depth on this project. I haven't made actually, I don't even think I made a video on DAG. I have been talking about it quite some time on Twitter and also in my Discord. And this one, I believe, is going to be huge. So let's jump into it overall. To give you guys a little bit of an insight of this project, this project is very undervalued at current levels. We do see the market cap is about $90.8 million. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. We'll get into the tokenomics here shortly. But if you guys do want to buy this token, if you guys want to know a quick and easy way for anybody who is new, if you guys know a crypto asset that you want to buy and you don't know where to buy it and you're confused and stuff, just come to CoinMarketCap, search for your crypto up here, click market, and then basically you'll see where you can buy it. So right now you can buy DAG on KuCoin, Hit Bitcoin, and also Lattice. Lattice is, or I should say Lattice, not Lattice. Lattice is pretty much one of their personal projects overall, and then we also have Hotbit. Now, let's jump into pretty much what Constellation is. It's basically a framework and a network that is provided to a digital economy in a way. Now, their end goal is to pretty much bridge real-world data, business mechanics, and rewards all through the power of distributed ledger technology, which we've been talking about DLTs for quite some time. DLTs are going to be the future. I've talked about it in multiple videos. I've talked about it on Twitter, especially when we march into a tokenized pretty much world, if you will. Now, the interesting thing about Constellation, is the layer 0 standard that they have, and also their microservice framework. Now, when we talk about pretty much the layer 0 protocol, we're also talking about HGTP, or if you guys want to know exactly what that means, it's Hypergraph Transfer Protocol. I'll basically be dumbing it down to HGTP, just because it's a lot less to say. But basically, it's the first layer 0 protocol in this industry. This will basically enable entrepreneurs to develop applications with business logic and advanced consensus mechanisms. This protocol also provides a converging layer for all layer 1 protocols. And we'll talk more about that. So let's talk about some statistics. So right now, the network offers instant and feeless transactions. It goes in par with even when we talk about HBAR or XRP and stuff like that. They are pretty much doing unlimited transactions currently, and it's massive considering the fact that they are doing feeless transactions, which is pretty cool to say the least. But the transactions are instant. I don't know if it is unlimited transactions per second or anything like that. I couldn't find that information for you guys, but it does say unlimited transactions here, so I don't necessarily know if it is unlimited transactions per second. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I don't know that statistic, but we do know that they are instant and also feeless, which is very interesting to say the least. Now, it also streamlines data validation through HGTP, which could also allow for the integration of any external data source or blockchain, if you will. The concurrent consensus mechanisms are a domain-specific programming language as well for interacting with Hypergraph. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that this network is really doing, but for the most part, these are some insights overall. Now, we do see Hypercube here. We do see deploy your own blockchain networks, mint your own cryptocurrencies, create crypto wallets for various uses, and explore and validate transactions. Now, this kind of goes into what I was kind of talking about with integration. When we look at that and we actually kind of read into it, basically it has a domain-specific programming language for interacting with Hypergraph. It also uses the layer 0 state channels as an evolution to smart contracts, if you will, to pretty much cryptographically secure more and complex data. So this is really going to move a lot of data throughout the network. And this is pretty much all powered by Hypergraph, which is the world's most robust decentralized value-based network. We can actually kind of see down here infinite scalability, simple to deploy, cost-effective, and penetrable. Now the currency itself, we could actually go over to that. The currency itself features the first layer 0 token standard, cross-chain liquidity, and atomic swaps without additional routing, front-running protection, arbitrage, and also manipulation protection, generative economic model underwriting of economic activity with compute resources, and last but not least, it does offer merged mining. And then we could actually kind of read more into this here. So DAG is the financial state channel of the Constellation network. It allows for seamless exchange and interaction between the various state channels and nodes that make up the network. DAG binds the network components together so that they relate to one another. And here's the utility factor behind it. Which is pretty much kind of talking about what I mentioned fully, but we also look at Constellation is the only framework that is encouraging entrepreneurial activity, all while incentivizing stakeholders in the networks. So when we look into this, we do see while Bitcoin does not provide utility besides a store of value, DAG provides a second functional value as tokenized throughput or bandwidth on the network. At the same time, basic rate limited functionality will remain free, allowing users to send single transactions for one-off P2P payments. For any serious data processing or data exchanges, more throughput is needed. This is acquired through DAG micropayments, like I said before, or by contributing resources as a node operator on the network. Now we do see data-focused token. DAG allows for the attribution of value to data, whether it's a single package of data or an entire data stream traded in real time on an event basis. DAG provides a decentralized data marketplace for the data economy. In doing so, it enables datapreneurship, which I was pretty much talking about with entrepreneurship, for individual and corporate users who can securely and compliantly monetize their data. Now, this is basically how it works. I'm not going to read too much into this and waste your time, but yeah, it also has the featured exchanges down here and tokenomics. So we're going to read more into the tokenomics. I don't need to actually open this. I kind of already did a little bit of studying on tokenomics, if you will. So for example, let's actually jump into tokenomics. So as you all know, tokenomics could truly make or break any project. That's why I always talk about it mainly as the main point for these projects, especially something like DAG. Now, DAG is capped at about 3.67 billion total supply. This is actually wrong. I actually looked this up. It's basically capped at 3.67 billion, not 3.7. We also see that node rewards are capped at a max of 1.6 billion. Now the foundation itself, so the company, if you will, does own about, I think it was like 332 million of the supply. The community owns about 31.4 million. Node validators own about 240 million. Mint it currently with 1.6 billion max. So that makes basically the total circulation supply. Now, again, when we look into this, this is actually wrong. It's basically about 2.3 billion. So it does still have a ton of room to grow. I mean, even if we look at it from, say for so we look at it from the total diluted market cap, even right now it's only at about 265 million. If we look at this going to, say for so, we'll just say $10. It's only about a $36 billion market cap, and it is at a fraction, or I shouldn't say a fraction of a penny, but it's actually at a fraction of a dime, if you will. So it is very affordable currently. I do know that some of these exchanges do suck to buy it, but hey, it is what it is. Some of these assets are very hard to buy, but sometimes that makes it worth the while, because when it does get listed on major exchanges, the volume will increase significantly. Now let's talk about their overall product, if we will. So that product, I don't know if I could see it. I don't know if it's here. But basically it is their layer 0. Maybe we could actually kind of see it here. So we do see their microservices, revolutionary protocol. So yes, here it is. So when we talk about their protocol, basically their main product is their layer 0 standard. Now this is defined as their layer beneath all protocols. For example, most assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. are layer 0, or layer 1, I mean. When we talk about layer 0, basically what layer 0 will do is it will connect every asset so that value could flow frictionlessly from one ecosystem to the other. This also achieves the goal of interconnected value chains. Now, when we talk about even microservices, or we should actually kind of talk more about the hypergraph network. Hypergraph network, like I said, is feeless, it's decentralized as well, and it supports the transfer of DAG itself. Now, when we look at state channels microservices, the Constellation HGTP network is a collection of microservices called state channels. Each state channel validates specific data types with user-defined validation functions. State channels form a distributed network architecture that can accommodate real-world big data use cases. Developers can integrate state channels directly into existing applications, allowing for direct E2E security and minimal seamless deployment. Now we do see this is talking about basically that revolutionary protocol. It's powered by secure communication protocol designed for wide open networks and concurrency. We do see our vision was not achievable with traditional consensus models. Therefore, we built Pro from the ground up, incorporating machine learning to balance our complex network topology, with performance-based approach to validator rewards. There is a lot of rewards that you could pretty much reap as being a validator or a node validator, if you will, which are pretty cool. But we do see that Constellation actually plans to introduce the DAG terminal, where anyone can actually download the client and develop their own apps and business built on the hypergraph. Users basically will be able to mint their own cryptocurrencies as well with business logic, rewards, and metrics. That's where we were kind of talking about simple to deploy, cost effective, and all that stuff. But we also see minting your own cryptocurrencies and all that kind of stuff, especially creating your own wallets, which are pretty cool. This will ultimately create new business models as well, and token types in general, with shared rewards and accountability for every stakeholder that is a stakeholder or a node operator on Constellation. Now, also, we do see some key or core elements, basically. So we do see the node validators and miners. We do see application support, consensus model, and architecture. So they're actually calling their consensus model proof of reputable observation, or PRO. It's an evolution of distributed consensus incorporating P2P reputation models. Now, this is that layer 0 standard that I was talking about. Now, it's basically kind of going over what I just talked about. If we do see here, WordPress created a framework for developing websites and businesses on HTTP. Constellation provides the layer 0 standard for anyone to create a blockchain-based business with robust programmable logic on HTTP. Then they also introduced the Hypercube with anyone, where anyone can engage with our client and create their own business built on blockchain, with the introduction of the consensus or Constellation layer 0 standard. A state channel / microservices framework, anyone will be able to validate data schemas and also data sources, mint their own cryptocurrencies, and attach business logic and metrics to their layer 0. To create a layer 0, DAG will be required and may be procured in the ecosystem. So DAG is going to be utilized for a lot of things, including this layer 0 application that they're going to be making if anybody does develop on here. But we also see the stakeholders down here are going to be reaping the benefits of shared rewards and stuff like that that relate to the success and utility of the token itself. Now, here's their network differences. This is pretty much what I was talking about before as well. We do see over 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created every single day, which is pretty cool to see. Now, Hypergraph, when we talk about Hypergraph, because they were kind of talking about that up here, Hypergraph is essentially the first digitized economy that is feeless, also cutting out the middleman, letting all stakeholders participate in a successful layer 0 business. I think that this is going to be huge for anybody who is a stakeholder. I always love the idea of making residual income from these projects. That's why I even mainly invest it in Stack, right? And when we talk about Jig Stack, yeah, they're having a rough startup, but hey, I still believe in the project and I still will pretty much stake my Stack. But a few business models we could see come to fruition from Hypergraph when we talk about wallets and utility. We're even talking about the Hypercube and stuff like that, or enterprise use cases as well. We really talk about like subscription agreements, which include payment collection and monetization. This could pretty much include DataFi that is built by Constellation, analytics for cross-chain, on-chain, and even off-chain. We also see oracles, merged mining, memberships, automizations, and much more. They also want to provide services to connect real-world businesses goals with the hypergraph, which will affect, or I should say, will offer, if you will, shared rewards, which will enter, or if we actually kind of come over here 1 second, basically this is when we talk about down, I think it was, yeah, so it was here. Basically, we're talking about the idea of pretty much revenue generating services that could pretty much help those node validators or even miners basically reap those benefits of earning residual income. Now, this could be numerous things as well, like for example, like data pipelines, assurance, consulting for small, big, or even enterprise businesses. That's why we even talk about enterprise over here. Now this could also include trading and finance, as well as like DeFi for ETFs, money management, bots, loans, and also like fundraising as well, and also validating the consensus mechanism, or I should say validation using the consensus mechanism. Now, when we talk about an industry for the future, a company for future industry, they're even talking about this has caused a rise in industries such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data led by major tech companies like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google. Now this is talking about over the past 10 years, we have seen data become more valuable and profitable than oil. Now, they're trying to fix bad data. This is a connected infrastructure. That's why I was talking about that data pipeline, if you will, that's going to basically connect a lot of these big tech industries and stuff like that together. We do even see here, Constellation Network has developed distributed ledger technology to embrace the vision of connected world powered by big data by creating the infrastructure to securely validate and protect one of the world's most valuable resources, and that is data. Now, if we come down here, this is a protocol for mobility. I'm not going to read too much into this, but the technology enables the mobility industry to customize connected vehicle solutions, creating better businesses to consumer outcomes for the automotive sector, which I think that this could be a huge. We already talked about how the automotive sector is worth about $2 trillion, and technology could really disrupt that entire sector, which I think that if Constellation could grab some of that market, that would be huge for the price, especially for something that is a low cap gem like this. There is a lot more information here for enterprise use cases. I'm not going to do too much reading on this. If you guys do want like a massive breakdown of this, I'm not going to try to do that, because listen, this video would be like an hour plus long, and I just don't want to do that for you guys. I don't want to put you guys through that. Trust me, this video is long enough right now. I think it's like over, I don't even know, 20 minutes. So I'm trying to do my best to really kind of keep this as short as possible. Now, when we talk about the Hypercube, I kind of already talked about this a little bit. We could deploy your own blockchain, mint your own cryptocurrencies. Full control and deep customization, which is very cool. Manage your crypto and data, explore and validate transactions, mine rewards by validating transaction. Want to earn cryptocurrency as a node operator, validating transactions on Hypergraph, whether part of a larger strategy or you just want to earn rewards, node operation is easy with Hypercube. Built to work directly with your stack. Now, we do see some nice partnerships here, if you will. We do see Amazon Web Services, which doesn't mean that it's a direct partnership with Amazon, we actually kind of could see, I believe, I don't know where to, I think it might be in community possibly, but this is their ecosystem of partners. We could actually see who are partners with them or building with them or whatever the case may be. Basically all the connections to Constellation, which we do see LCX, which is the Lattice exchange, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Now here's some the product, if you will. This is product partners, which Chainlink is listed here, as well as QNT, which QNT we already kind of discussed that this is going to be one of the most massive projects in this space. We do see the community as well, community partners. We do see Delta, Blockfolio, Crypto News Daily, and we also see, I guess this is their own company. We do see business as well. There's a few big names here for the most part. We do see universities on here. Like I said, AWS. And there's a few names here. Nothing too crazy. Not a lot of big names, if you will. You know, unless you guys are like, for example, like Space Isaac and stuff like that. A lot of these, a lot of people won't really know about, so I'm not going to go too much in depth on them. But we do see wallet and utilities. We do see this is the Stargazer wallet, a cross-chain functional wallet for the future of cross-chain interoperability. Simply put, the Stargazer wallet is a browser extension wallet for holding and transacting your DAG tokens. And we do see a Stardust creation. This is pretty much how you install and stuff. This is a pretty cool utility aspect, if you will, because there are some features that are coming soon for this as well. We do see cross-chain compatibility with the Ethereum network. I'm not going to read too much into this. I thought this was actually a pretty cool aspect, though, because this is pretty much something that could be created on here if you guys want to build. That's where we talk about, you know, wallets and minting your own cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. So I do want to talk about some federal use cases that they already do have. This is Constellation for government. Now here are some key applications in government. We do see secure interoperability, anti-spoofing, data validation, data logistics as well. And this is kind of talking about, you know, exponential data coming online. I'm not going to read too much into this. If you guys do want to read into this, you guys can, or you guys could pause the video quick and kind of read this. But I do like this objective to offer the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security an easy to integrate developer tool that will enable these systems to instantaneously process, validate, and secure data as it is being created and communicated across networks. So big use cases overall, especially if they are in the federal sector. I think that this is going to be an easy hold. We do see communicate securely from ground, air, and space. National Science Foundation interview. If you guys want to pretty much watch this, they're going to be talking to the National Science Foundation. Now, we do see key focus areas of impact: mobility and ground infrastructure, drone and mesh networks, satellite security and communications, command and control, orchestration, edge procurement using crypto. Now this is their U.S. Air Force letter of support. This is a featured project already. We do see the unique Constellation blockchain for big data technology has significant potential to help Air Force cybersecurity and the 618 Air Operations Center AOC with commercial partners, mission, transaction, interactions, verifications by mitigating security risk of attack points like servers, cloud storage, and centrally hosted access control systems that are either exposed to hacking and or spoofing activities. The foreseeable result would successfully thwart spoofing attacks and intercepting and replacing an existing data stream with a data stream from a hostile agent, or adds fraudulent information to the existing data stream. So they're basically already getting the anti-spoofing aspect in, you know, lock for a utility driven asset. So we do see some key government partners here. This is basically, if you guys want to look at this, you guys could also click these and kind of learn more about them, and pretty much read into their white papers for each individual partnership that they do have, because it is very, for an example, I tell you guys, a lot of the times I love transparency, and this project is pretty transparent overall. Now here is the Lattice exchange. The Lattice exchange is a decentralized finance DeFi platform that connects all blockchain main chains and allows users to transfer cryptocurrency between multiple ecosystems. This is all powered by Constellation and DAG. This is what I was talking about. You could basically build your own exchange using Constellation, which I thought was very cool because this could also allow a lot of money to flow over DAG and Constellation. Kind of looks like, if we look at this, kind of looks like Uniswap overall, if you will. But this is pretty cool because it's leveraging the Hypergraph Constellation's feeless network. The platform reduces risk, cost, and friction for traders, giving them control over their digital assets while increasing transparency, as well as being the bridge between all blockchain ecosystems. Lattice is a cross-chain asset swapping platform for DeFi incentives and rewards. So this is actually a really cool exchange. I haven't used it personally, but it does sound very interesting, especially when we look at decentralized governance. We do see yield farming, launchpad lending, cross-chain swapping as well. And this is basically their roadmap, if you will, which I think that we are basically in Q2. So this is fairly new. I think that we're actually in Q4 now that I think about it, but we do see broader blockchain ecosystems and cross-chain integrations and swapping, and then oracleization of trade data. And then there's also tokenomics as well. There's a lot of stuff to really read into on the Lattice exchange. I'm not going to read too much into it because it is powered by Constellation, but it's not a huge key component for us to really look at. Now, if we do look at the About section for Constellation, if it will load, sometimes I don't know why, but my computer is just like terrible with trying to load some stuff. But for the most part, you guys could really read more into this if you want. You guys could actually read more about the team and stuff like that. I just don't know why it's not loading, but for some reason it's not. But you can read more into this if you want. I just think that this is going to be alright. So it actually finally load it. So we do see a Constellation falling into place. Again, it's for scalability, secure solution as well for more connectivity, more centralization, and more concentrated risk. That's why I'm invested in HBAR as well. HBAR is very scalable. It's very cheap. It's very quick as well, and it has a ton of partnerships that are massively growing in scale. Constellation is kind of doing the same thing. They have government agencies pretty much under their belt as well. Full team, named team as well, all legit. It does have advisors and contributors. I don't know pretty much any of these people for the most part, but we do see their mission statement, if you will. I'm not going to read too much into this overall. Trust me. If you wanted me to really do like an hour-plus video on something like this, I could, but I'm not going to. But this is their principles. We do see a lot of stuff here. For an example, decentralization, truth and openness, harmony, sustainability, and all that kind of stuff. But if you guys want to read more, you guys could definitely read more about this project. I definitely think that it's going to be huge, especially when we look at, it has a feeless transaction period, and also it has a mass scaling opportunity as well. Plus, it's very cheap. Tokenomics look solid. I think that this could easily be, I can't see it under, $10 plus at some point in time. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. We do need more markets under its belt. Like, we need exchanges and stuff for more volume. But until we see that, we'll probably still sit at these nice solid buy zones. If I was looking for an entry on Constellation, I would most likely look at maybe 5 cents to about 6 cents overall. Might not happen, might happen, who knows. It depends on if you guys are long or short. But I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys can follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. You guys can also join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.